Hi there, this is a CRO Teardown for the carawayhome.com product page. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about product imagery. First things I would say are the image that you're leading off with is fairly small, and over half of the page is actually taken up by this sidebar. So you've got all this white space area that you could be doing a much better job with showcasing this in a much bigger image to start off with. And it's not the highest quality resolution. And actually, when you click to zoom in, it doesn't really zoom in very far. So not ideal. And then when you go through the images, you only actually have two images. So you can't see the handle particularly well. You can't see the underneath of it. You can't see the quality of the manufacturing around the where it's connected here, where it's on there. And other things are, you really need to be showing this pan in use. You've got to get people interested in what you can do with this. At the end of the day, it's not the features, it's the benefits. So you've got down here, this is interesting, but I would also include some in here, and also get an image in more lifestyle imagery here of someone actually cooking with it, having a good time. That's going to be really important to do. The video you've got actually is very good. We've got some great bullet points on there to showcase some of the key features on this. So that's a very good thing. But if people don't look at the video, then they're not going to see that. And actually, you wouldn't know this is a video because there's no thumbnail on it. So if they just scroll down, they won't see the video. So I would actually put a play button on top of that to indicate that better. Now, this down here is good, but stovetop agnostic, this word agnostic is, a lot of people are not going to know what that means. I would actually just say something like, you can use this on any stovetop. That's what you're trying to say, really. And then non-toxic coating, you could even say unlike other pans, because the key thing that you're not really expressing about this, and that's the biggest thing about trying to sell a thing like this, is that you've got so much competition and it's not particularly cheap. So you've really got to explain why this pan is better than, just going to Amazon and buying something from there. Because that, guarantee you, that's what people will be doing. They'll be in different tabs. They'll be checking out what other options that they're interested in. So the copy you've got here, healthier cooking in the kitchen without harmful chemicals. But this is quite text heavy here, and you don't really talk about, it's not that clear. Using bullet points would be a much better thing to do. And unfortunately, you're hiding away these other good icons in here, although these are duplicated over here. And then this is really important here, but you're making someone have to click through all of these. And often people will just scroll the page. They won't click on all these. It's good stuff hidden behind accordions or tabs. This doesn't include potentially chocolates. You're suffering from any of the hard anodization. So, but really, you got to go a bit further than that and explain, why you want to be avoiding all this stuff. You've got to exactly say what it can cause, how common these issues are, like raise some of these pain points that they may not be aware of in this. Don't go too, don't scare them off too much, but you could do a little bit better job with that free of. Then other things on here, this afterpay is a bit lost down here. This really needs to be by the price, because when they see the price, that's when they're going to think, oh, that's expensive. But when you have a lower price next to it for interest-free payments, that's going to be like, oh, okay, I can actually afford this at the moment because I can split it into 4. Whereas at the moment, they're very often going to miss that. And then down here, you're going into sales mode here, when you probably haven't convinced them to buy the pan yet, and you're not giving them any additional savings on buying these here. So you're actually confusing them, like, okay, what should I just get this on its own, rather than trying to focus on getting them to buy this pan in the first place. So here, ceramic non-stick, This I don't think is particularly unusual because I would imagine ceramic non-stick is very common. I would really have a more of an intriguing thing about that, about what makes you unique, because you're going to make someone think, oh, you're the only ones that do that, and then they're going to go and look themselves. That won't leach into your clean and healthy ingredients. That's fine. This I would actually do and actually, you see this when I go back up, this is frustrating here. It's fair enough that this should be sticky all the time there, but you don't need both of those sticky as you're scrolling up. It's just taking up way too much room. Look at this. I'm on the second biggest resolution here, and so that's one of the issues there. You've got 3 different sticky things. And by the way, this here, there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about, is that one thing you're not mentioning on here, and particularly important because Amazon is your competitor. They don't sell your product, but they are your competitor. You're not explaining how much it costs to ship it to them, or whether it's free returns. Many people will not look up here. It's much too far away here. You need to be adding that nearer to the add to cart. It's because those are those when they're considering adding to the cart, that's when they need to think, oh, okay, well, actually, look, there's no risk for this because there's free returns and free shipping. So and then this seems a bit of a strange threshold as well, in my opinion. I would lower that as much as you can, because again, Amazon, you can easily buy a pan and return it with 0 cost. That's what your competitor is. So 30-day free trial. So I would actually feature all those down here as they're scrolling. So let's carry on down here. So all these features here, I mean, eco-friendly and non-toxic are good, but non-stick, that's fairly common here. And then again, you go into, you're trying to get them to buy other stuff. Here, this is interesting because look, you save a good amount of money, 150, but you're not actually clearly listing what they get. You have to really imply, like, oh, okay, is this what I get? What is this? So, and then you're actually forcing them to go over to the set. But what I would do with this is emphasize that it isn't just a set here. It's actually the storage units as well. Because it wasn't until I really looked that I noticed that these actually come included for free. Because if you're not actually looking over there, you wouldn't know that these are included. And you don't mention the value of them or anything. So you're missing an opportunity there to explain that better. Then again, you're trying to get them to look into buying other products. And then, so all this area here, 1, 2, 3, you've got trying to get them to buy another product rather than the product that they're interested in. Now, continuing down here, it's great, amazing that you've got such strong reviews. But the challenge with this is there is no photos here. So because you don't have particularly many images, that's really going to be where people are going to want to look at more images, and also to see what the pan looks like being used, cooking with different things, and so forth. Another thing I would even mention on here is actually you've got what you can cook it for, but it's all buried away in here. I would actually have an additional section on here. What is this ideal for? What are some of the amazing things you can cook in this? Because it's not just the pan, it's what you do with the pan at the end of the day. Okay, so that I would improve that. So let me just switch over to mobile now. On mobile, you can see the image is even smaller. It's really much too small. And even the video, you can't read the text on the video, which is one of the benefits of the video. So you've got to really improve that imagery on there so you can read it. I'm going to move myself out of the way, actually. So let's continue down Here. This is a bit better now because it's right by here at least, but it's much better to even have that a little bit further up here. A major problem here is that you're actually, even worse on mobile, is you're hiding this content. Look, you can't even see what this is because you're making them click over here and you're making them scroll to the side even to read what that is. So I would actually not hide these in tabs. I would actually make this always be expanded, so as they're scrolling, they can't kind of miss it. Then same kind of things here. This is even harder to see. You can't really read that again on there very well. And obviously mobile is probably going to be your biggest source of visitors that you've got. This doesn't look particularly good on mobile, so I'll check that, but maybe it's just this emulator on here. So another things you could also do on here is adding some kind of third-party ratings if it's been featured in any good magazines or any leading articles or websites. Put those on there for social proof. Then those will really help to increase your conversion rates. But one other thing you're really going to need to do in here is conversion research to discover what your users' needs, issues, frustrations, doubts are with not only buying a pan, but buying this type of pan. Because while I'm a CRO expert and I can give you these recommendations, you really need to understand what those frustrations, needs, and issues that not only what your visitors are having, but also your customers. So, and that will help you understand the things that you can improve on your website for even bigger impact on your conversion rates. So that's what I would really focus on, because when you combine kind of CRO best practices and my ideas with, insights from your audience, that's where kind of the magic happens and you get the biggest conversion rate increases. So hopefully that was useful. Thank you.